Alright guys, I'm back for some news, and let's get into it. Final Fantasy 16 is getting 2 DLC expansions, and its PC port is officially in development, so I haven't beaten this one yet, but I really like the game, to be honest with you guys, despite it being like a linear open world RPG. Yeah, I wouldn't really call it open world, but RPG experience. But Square Enix has announced that Final Fantasy 16 is getting 2 paid DLC expansions and confirmed its PC port officially in development. More details about both aspects will be revealed later this year. As I mentioned earlier, we've seen many options and reactions from the community of Final Fantasy 16 players, said producer Naoki Yoshida. One thing that came through particularly strong was how people wanted to see more of Valencia's story and spend more time with her inhabitants. I'm assuming they're talking about the world. I totally don't remember the world is called. And then officially announced that the development team has started working on 2 paid DLC installments, and I didn't see how this game wouldn't get any DLC eventually. And the PC port, they also have that coming too. And they also had the announcement of Final Fantasy VII Remake Rebirth for the Amazon pre-order for that beginning of next year, so you can pre-order that now. Bethesda won't give up on Redfall, so people can still enjoy it on Game Pass in 2023. There will be people 10 years from now who are going to join Game Pass, and Redfall will be there. It is no secret that Arcane Austin vampire game Redfall didn't exactly resonate with players who put up big numbers when it came out earlier this year, but Bethesda is not going to abandon the game marketing. Executive Pienheim said fans can expect the company to keep working on it and become, in part, because he is hopeful that the game will still be enjoyed in 10 years on Game Pass. We are always in the process of learning, so that's not new for us. We don't like failing to meet our expectation. At the same time, we are the same company that had launches that didn't go the way we wanted, and we don't quit or abandon stuff just because it didn't start right, Hines told GI Biz. Hines went on to mention how the Elder Scrolls Online for PC and Fallout 76 did not exactly hit the ground running when they were released, but they're both in healthier places these days. And yeah, I played the hell out of Fallout 76, even in its earlier days, even despite it being a bad game. The only reason I dropped off from it is because I can't juggle too many live services, not because I didn't like the game. I'm more focused on Halo now, that's why. Redfall is no different for us, okay? We didn't get to the start we wanted, but it's still a fun game, and we're going to keep working on it. We're going to do 60 FPS, we're going to get a good game, Hines said. And, if only EA treated their titles the same way, I wouldn't be stuck with the paperweight known as Anthem. Still, I lost my chance to get rid of that, and GameStop doesn't even take it. That's how bad it is. Anyways, GameStop boss, speak of the devil, said disk drives should be required on game consoles. I actually thought this was funny. It just shows you how bad place that GameStop is right now. It would be great if people had to buy more of the things that says guy who makes money selling the thing. Whenever any chief officer within a company speaks publicly, you can assume that they're speaking in the best interest of the company. It's no different from with Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GameStop, said that he thinks that gaming consoles makers should be required to include optical disk drives on the system in a tweet this week, and though I agree with that statement for different reasons. Big win for customers, Cohen said, replying to the news story about Apple's move towards USB-C charging and away from its proprietary Lightning port. Consumers have also invested their hard-earned money in a physical video. Games discs should be required on consoles. They're also, I believe, adding batteries or something back to phones, which I think is a good thing because you don't have to replace the battery once the thing dies. If the battery dies, in the current phones that we have right now, you basically have to buy a new one because it's built into the freaking system. And you can't change it. Which I think is BS with most of these electronic devices today. Cohen, as the CEO of GameStop, has a vested interest in people buying physical media alongside accessories, while PC games began to shift towards digital in the early 2000s with the opening of the Valve Steam store. Digital console games only became prevalent with the previous generation of consoles, the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Games Industry.biz noted at the end of 2022 that only about 28% of console games sales were for boxed copies of games, with 72% going towards digital purchases. I think it's even more than that now. Hold on, I'll look it up. So in 2018, 83% of all computer and video games were sold in digital form, meaning that once a game is downloaded, I think it's even worse now. On the PC front, meanwhile, the digital share is much larger, just a little surprise. 98% of all game sales on the platform in 2022 being digital purchases. It was 83% in 2018 for PC. And I believe it's something like 80-something now. I can't find the, I was looking at, there was an article I was looking at before. It's 80-something now for, consoles, so it's going up. It's going to be maxed out at some point, to the point where nobody's buying the physical discs anymore. And that's why GameStop is scared shitless right now, because they know that they're becoming irrelevant. The next Zelda will offer a new experience, and Nintendo has no Tears of the Kingdom DLC plans. Whether it's another sequel or an entirely new title, I believe the next game will offer a completely new experience. The Legend of Zelda producer Eiji Aonuma and game director Hidemaru Fujibayashi, I think I pronounced that correctly, have spoken about the future of the franchise and what the development team has planned for the next installment. Naturally, the pair aren't ready to divulge any details, but Fujibayashi did mention that a fun factor will be a core element in the next Zelda game, and Aonuma added that fans can look forward to a new experience when it eventually arrives. Aonuma added that there are currently no plans to release extra content for Tears of the Kingdom, which launched back in May for the Switch. The producer explained that this particular incarnation of Hyrule, an overhauled version of 2017's Breath of the Wild, had been tapped dry, and that the development team had put everything possible into the base game. It's been almost a year after launch. Didn't it come out 6 months ago? I'm sure if we already heard something about DLC by now, if they actually plan anything. Normally when they say we have no particular plans for DLC, they tend to, that statement tends to be disingenuous. I believe other companies have done it too, so that's not to be taken on face value, but seeing as it's 6 months in, or 6-7 months in since the game's launched, and they're not talking about DLC, I tend to believe that statement tends to be true. Because they kind of built on the current assets that they already had from Breath of the Wild 1, or Breath of the Wild, my bad, 1. So I think that actually they would have been talking about DLC by now if they were planning on doing it. Who knows? I could be entirely wrong. So Skull and Bones has lost its third creative director. There's still no release date for a long-awaited pirate game. Skull and Bones is suffering yet another breach in the hall as, understatement, as Ubisoft's long-delayed pirate game has lost another creative director. That's not a good sign. According to a new report from Kotaku, creative director Elizabeth Helen left Ubisoft Singapore to return to Ubisoft's Paris headquarters earlier this summer. Helen had been working on Skull and Bones since 2018. This marks the third time the Skull and Bones has lost a creative director. Kotaku's report also says that Ubisoft Singapore is facing an organized labor campaign from Singapore's Creative Media and Publishing Union. 5 years ago, Elizabeth Helen went to Ubisoft Singapore with a mission to reboot the creative direction of the Skull and Bones, and Ubisoft spokesperson told Kotaku she has succeeded, and the Skull and Bones team is now fulfilling her vision to deliver a unique naval action RPG experience to our players. But when Ubisoft will actually deliver Skull and Bones remains to be seen, yeah. At the beginning of 2023, Skull and Bones was delayed for a 6th time. Back then, Ubisoft slated Skull and Bones for some time in its 2023-24 fiscal year, which we're in the middle of right now. It seemed like we were finally approaching more concrete news on the game, but that changed when all Ubisoft brought to its Ubisoft Summer Forward presentation was an admittedly catchy music performance and some closed beta dates. To be honest with you guys, so delays are fine. I don't mind delays. I like giving devs more time to work on things and not getting crunched and stuff like that. But when there's this many delays, you got a problem. I don't know, 6 times? That's insane. Nintendo reportedly demoed the Switch 2 at Gamescon 2023. Visuals comparable to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. And If true, that's freaking impressive. But anyways, Nintendo reportedly revealed Switch 2 behind closed doors at Gamescon 2023 last month, showing off the power of its upcoming next-gen console. According to Eurogamer, the Switch 2 was shown running a souped-up version of Switch launch titles, Zelda Breath of the Wild, although there's apparently no suggestion the game will be re-released. Meanwhile, VGC reported Nintendo showed off Epic's The Matrix Awakens Unreal Engine 5 demo, running on hardware with specs Nintendo was targeting for its future console. The site said this demo ran using NVIDIA's AI-powered DLSS upscaling, so if true, this new console, Switch 2, will have NVIDIA GPU in it, like the current one does. Technology alongside ray tracing with the visuals comparable to PlayStation 5 and Series X consoles, or Xbox Series S and S, I should just say. Apparently this new next-gen console can be used in portable mode like the Nintendo Switch and has an LCD screen as opposed to an OLED screen. Oh, save money. I think they said MuTech talked about that too, and other YouTubers. They're not gonna put an OLED in this because it's too much money. It also comes with a cartridge slot for physical games. However, the crucial question of backwards compatibility with Nintendo Switch games remains unclear. Nintendo has yet to comment on it. Yeah, I've been kind of hesitant on talking about any backwards compatibility because it's Nintendo and their partners don't want backwards compatibility, even though becoming more and more of a, yeah, we gotta do this, because every other platform is doing it. Abject permanence of what's these companies are going to be doing anyway, so having backwards compatibility is a must at this point, even if you're just now implementing it.
Check out both my Twitter for news I don't get in vid form. I also upload on TikTok and Instagram.